welcome to the Space Out Podcast, where we chill out, chat about, and space out. I'm your host, Luca, a.k.a. LucaTony, and today we're trying something new. With the exception of this intro and the outro for today's episode, this episode is entirely off the cuff. No notes. I have literally no notes. All I know is that I want to talk about the recent situation regarding Fortnite and the App Store, as well as just how insanely popular Fall Guys has become, and how I literally only play Fall Guys nowadays, with the exception of a couple of other things, but we'll get to that in a second. First of all, I want to talk about the Fortnite versus Apple, more specifically Fortnite versus game stores on mobile, to be honest. So to give you a quick rundown of what has happened, Fortnite recently came up with an update for Fortnite. Epic Games, the developer, came with an update for Fortnite that allows the people, the players, to purchase V-Bucks, the currency in game, through their own servers, instead of doing it through the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, which has led to lower prices on the V-Bucks. Instead of the usual $10 for, I think it's like 1,000 V-Bucks, now it's 700 for 1,000 V-Bucks, because usually the App Store and the Google Store take about 30% cut of every purchase that happens in the respective stores. But Epic Games, developer of Fortnite, decided to introduce a way to pay directly through them. That has caused Apple and later on Google Play to remove Fortnite from their stores, because technically Fortnite violated contract, and Fortnite has basically started a campaign against more specifically Apple, because they are the worst of the whole bunch, because their ecosystem is closed, but the Google Play Store is also involved. So basically, Fortnite released almost like a propaganda ad that was a parody on the original 1984 ad by Apple back when the original Macintosh came out. That was sort of like a knock on IBM having basically monopoly of the entire computer industry, right? And that they had your information. It was a very iconic and very effective ad from the early, technology computer days. And Fortnite decided to quite literally parody it by calling it 1980 Fortnite instead of 1984, and making the big bad guy a character in Fortnite that's an apple, called Apple Corpo. It's actually quite funny. It's a pretty, obviously it's a very serious, and it takes itself super serious, and then it has white text over black background saying, "Oh, Fortnite, we're fighting against Apple in this battle for consumers, blah 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 blah." But it's actually just it's very funny and very I don't know, I guess troll way to just completely turn Apple on its head. And the fact that the ad was released just straight up after Apple removed them, it was just perfect timing. Then Fortnite just announced recently that they're gonna have an Apple Eaters tournament in game, where if you survive more than I think it was 30 minutes in a total of 12 matches, which is super easy, by the way, you get the Apple Corpo skin. And it's basically free advertisement. And they started a whole movement on Twitter called #FreeFortnite. And yeah, it's all a big mess, sort of. And this is not the first time that Epic has had problems with mobile, because Epic hesitated to putting Fortnite on Google Play, because of the same reason, because they thought that the pricing model on Google Play was way too much, sort of like how they're doing it now, and it was only on the Samsung store for the longest time. The game is still on Samsung Store. It's no longer on Google Play either. But yeah. So what do I think? First of all, let's make it extremely clear. Fortnite is in this for the money. They're not in this for the consumer. If you really think that they're in this for the consumer, then you're wrong. Because if they weren't there for the money, if they hadn't planned 17 steps ahead, how do you think it happened that they just dropped an entirely 1984 parody trailer for Fortnite, bashing Apple right after, like not even like an hour after Apple banned them from the store? It's super obvious. They had the skin, the Apple Corpo skin prepared as well. They are trying. They, immediately as Apple dropped them, they went for a lawsuit. Like, if you think this is because, oh yes, Epic Games is standing up for the little guy, we're gonna get better revenue shares, everyone, blah blah blah. No, let's put it right on the table. Fortnite and Epic Games want more money, more of the cut that they're getting right now, and they're going up against it because I'll get onto it eventually, but I have a feeling that Fortnite has been dwindling in player base and in popularity and, you know, the talk of the town type of thing. And this big publicity has created so much talk around Fortnite once again, like all the way back when it became the big thing in like 2018. So I feel like this was all a very calculated move, that literally for Fortnite, it's only a win-win. Because if Fortnite doesn't get its way, if Epic Games doesn't get its way and doesn't get a better revenue share cut for themselves and for everyone, then that means that Apple is made look bad, and Google as well. And then that's more of a reason, you know, to go up against Google and more hate, etc., etc. If Fortnite does succeed, then that means they get their revenue share and they just make more money. It's just all a win-win. And even if one of those two scenarios doesn't happen for whatever reason, which in my mind there are the only two scenarios that can happen, they already got so much free publicity and so many people that truly believe that Fortnite and Epic Games are doing a good one for the consumers because they dropped the V-Bucks price before they got banned. Like, it's just, it was all a massive brain move. It was incredibly well planned. And even if, let's put it on the table, if the best thing for everyone is that Fortnite does win and Apple drops their revenue share to like 15%. Why? Because if they do that, then they will be obligated to do that for the other games as well. For small indie games that are on the App Store, small like apps like, I don't know, Netflix, blah 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 blah. They will be obligated to do so, and everyone will get a win because the small developer that maybe that 30% was the difference between paying rent that month or not will now be able to have more money at their disposal. Like, it's for me, if you had to ask me, I'm fully rooting for Fortnite. It's just because of the fact that this is good for everyone in the long run. But it's obvious that Fortnite was not like, oh, I'm the angel type of thing. Another thing to keep in mind is that, as I mentioned, I mentioned Netflix, and this reminded me of it. This is why I usually prepare notes, but I want to try something different today. Fortnite and Epic Games had said that the App Store does treat other apps differently because of gaming is such like a weird topic for the App Store. Because, for example, the reason why Apple banned Epic and Fortnite from releasing games in the App Store was because they went around the purchasing through the App Store. But there are tons of other apps like Netflix, like Google Drive, bigger storage for your drive, stuff like that you can literally purchase without going through the App Store. And for Netflix, the perfect example. You don't have to pay through the App Store, and you can still use the app, and you can even if you use the app, even if you use Netflix only on your phone, you can still go pay on the iPhone and not pay Apple through it. So there was just like this big accusation from Epic that video games are treated differently, which is also backed up by the fact that recently Microsoft tried to get their game platform thing that allows people to play Xbox games that they already have on mobile on the App Store. And Apple said they didn't because of the same exact thing, because they would have to pay through a different source instead of through Apple in order to get those games. So there's a lot of like hypocrisy and a lot of like shifty grounds for Apple as well. So I really do think that like Epic and Fortnite are way more likely to win are the better, the better cause to root for, even though they're really just going in for the money and the publicity. And okay, now what I mentioned before, I think all of this is a move because Fortnite is slowly dying, because recently, and here comes why this is the segue to Fall Guys. Fall Guys has literally tore the world apart. It's literally become the most viewed game on Twitch ever, surpassing League of Legends and CSGO in a matter of like 2 weeks. The game came out in August 3rd. The beta started in August 2nd for like streamers and that type of thing. And since then, it has become the most viewed game on Twitch ever, surpassing League and CSGO, like I said. The most played game and still the most playing, meaning people playing at the same time, game on Steam, the biggest PC gaming platform. The most, I think it was the most played on PlayStation as well, which is the other only platform that it's out on. Like, it literally showed up out of nowhere and it tore the competition apart. And in reality, it's because it's a great game. It's a really fun and colorful game. Just in case you don't know what Fall Guys is, it's basically like Wipeout, like this TV show where you have the people go through multiple obstacle courses and all that, but with 59 other people. And the idea is you go through multiple obstacle courses and little mini games until you get to the final one and you qualify by yourself and you win. But it's so much fun and it's so colorful and it's such a refreshing change of pace from like the past few games that have come out. Like, even though I love Ghost of Tsushima, that I've talked about, I think in the 6th or the 7th episode on the podcast, it is a very serious, a very dramatic game. And although it's a very beautiful game, the fact that Fall Guys is such a colorful and such a vibrant, such a different game from everything that has come before it in the past year that has been absolutely crazy due to COVID and everything that's been going on, I think it came in at the perfect time, and it has stolen so many hearts, myself included. I have 6 wins, so if you don't got 6 wins, then get good, because I'm not that great. I'm mediocre, maybe okay. But aside from that, it also made me rediscover my love for streaming once again. Like, I say this, I think I've said this like on my 5th episode on the podcast as well, that I just rediscovered my love for streaming. But it really has connected me with people that I didn't play that much before, and I got to playing with friends I hadn't played in a while, and I got to stream alongside my favorite streamers just playing, and I had so much fun. And if you follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, it's literally the only thing I tweet and post about nowadays. It's clips of my funny streams with other streamers, because it's literally it has become my favorite game. And aside from a detective mystery murder game that I've been playing with my friends on my off time and just yesterday on stream, Fall Guys I literally bought it on like August 10th, and by August 19th I was level 31, while my friends who bought them on release day are like level 20 right now. Like, I've literally been glued to my screen because this game is so good. It's the only game I play with my friends at this point. It's just marvelous. But yeah, I feel like because of Fall Guys and other games that are coming up, like Ghost of Tsushima stole Thunder, and the talk of the town. Then The Last of Us stole the talk of the town. Not for the greatest reasons, but it did. I feel like Fortnite had a dwindling player base, and they decided to do the Fortnite versus Apple and Fortnite versus Google Play eventually battle and tournament and all of those things as a big publicity stunt in order to get eyes and ears all the way back on Fortnite. Because it is true, like, looking back on, for example, my little brother plays a lot of Fortnite, right? And looking back on maybe like 2 months or a month ago, he said he was losing interest, and I think ever since Fall Guys came out, I haven't seen him play Fortnite a single time. So I think this was all just a big publicity stunt, and yeah, you don't trust the same way we don't trust big corpo Apple corpo, like Fortnite likes to call it. We also should not blindly trust Fortnite because they're also in it for the money. They're a business at the end of the day. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Hopefully the resolution of the Fortnite versus Apple situation means a higher percentage cut for all developers on the App Store. Like I said last week, we all work hard. Don't tear each other down over, I think Apple has the right to charge as much as they like, or I think Fortnite's with this, they should give games for free or something like that. Like, come on, man. We're all in this together, and hopefully you had a good week. I've been having a good week. Next week's episode will probably be me talking about my first week in online COVID classes, which should be pretty interesting. If you want to see me fail in Fall Guys and maybe sometimes win, you should go to my Twitch, LucaTony0708, and my Twitter, same thing. With all that said, thank you for spacing out.